I begin my presentation, I'd first like to take the time and appreciate this picture in the board or slide. So, as many of you probably have noticed or haven't noticed, this is the sculpture of the thinker. And let me just give you a brief history just to wake you guys up a little bit, although history is kind of yawning. But I'll start anyways. The thinker was created by a person named Auguste Rodin in 1881. And I did some research about this picture, this sculpture itself. And I just searching for the meaning of this sculpture. And this sculpture is meant to represent human emotions. But I have a different way of taking this. To me, this sculpture represents the birth of human ideas, the birth of knowledge. And this is something that basically perpetuates new ideas to happen, new discoveries, new technologies to develop. And now this brings me to my presentation. The human brain is the most powerful part of the human body, as Javisha quite understands and, of course, appreciates. And it truly allows us to explore our abilities and our own talents, and allows us to enhance what we have and build upon and find new things, think of new things. And it allows humans to contribute to so many great things, such as some great things are, for example, cavemen. They established fire. Fire in itself became the essence of providing heat, providing a way of living. In addition to that, humans got even more advanced. Then the locomotives developed, the first car was developed, then afterwards humans became even more advanced, and airplanes developed from the Wright brothers. All of these inventions, these technologies started from somewhere, started from thinking of new things, just going outside of the box. In addition to all of these inventions, the class of ISM was created too, by a human person who thought of the idea. And now, let me just tell you what I think of this class, this course, Independent Study Mentorship. To me, this course in itself will not guarantee that you become a great scientist or finally manage to, stop disease outbreaks. This class, like I was saying, it allows you to enhance your abilities, build upon what you already have, and basically just truly understand yourself as a person and understand the world, as well as learn professional communication, as well as talking to other people, just basically learning how to deal with your surroundings. And now that I've given you a brief explanation of what I think ISM is, like to me, I'd like to take a trick. I'd like to take a trip down to memory lane when I was a junior in Heritage High School.
Point the arrow towards the projector.
The other one.
You're pressing the laser button.
No, I'm... Okay. Besides that brief interruption, of course obstacles will happen. Let's continue on with my presentation. And like I was saying, as a junior in high school, I looked sort of like this, kind of. Not really. I was wearing glasses, of course, but definitely not with a heavy lipstick. But anyways, when I was a junior in high school, I was very stubborn, very relentless. I was also very nervous, anxious, and very self-absorbed. Okay, and of course I was confused about my life, confused about where I'm going to end up. And then, because I was the type of person in junior year who worried about my grades, my GPA, my getting A's in this class, doing well in physics as well as many of you juniors are struggling with right now. All of these things defined me, keeping my grades up, keeping my GPA up, and doing good on the national tests as well. But then I met a former ISM student, and I'll just go ahead and mention her name because she's a very nice friend of mine, Ivy. And she was the type of girl who, she told me briefly what ISM was all about. It allows you to explore your interests and basically pick the type of job or occupation you want. And then after hearing that conversation, I got really interested and I decided, why not join ISM? What's the worst that can happen? Me just not finding the career I want, because it's always nice to explore your interest. So then I decided to just sign up in ISM and go through the whole process of getting in. But there's one thing that I didn't mention. First of all, when I was thinking of joining ISM, I was thinking of, ooh, I'll shadow some kind of a surgeon, shadow some kind of a doctor. You know, surgeons get a lot of money, so why not do a topic in surgery? And so I had a mindset that I would settle on general surgery. And then, as I grew more in depth with ISM, as I was involved in the class, I began to understand that surgery was not really what I wanted. It was really because it's a very popular topic and many people are wanting to pursue it, so wanted. And then instead of just pursuing surgery, I decided to continue the research that I was already doing at UTD, which was before I started ISM. I decided to incorporate that into this ISM program. And then suddenly, I felt like him. Okay? Once I finally figured out that general surgery was not for me, I had a eureka moment that, oh, cancer research, that's the best thing to do. I can incorporate my research that I'm already doing and definitely find a topic that interests me a lot. And I felt just as great as Archimedes here. He's very happy. Now I've explained how I got interested into my topic, how I'm doing my research right now. So currently in ISM, I've been working closely with my mentor, who happens to be a professor of the molecular cell biology, and I basically work under a PhD professor, a PhD student actually, and basically I go to the lab, not daily. I try to go there twice a week or 1 day a week. Whenever I get time, I go there. I practice some cell culture techniques. Like for example, one of the important cell culture techniques that I practice right now, and I've been practicing before ISM, is cell passing, making sure that the cells are getting the right nourishment, the treatment, as well as many other cell culture things that you might be bored of hearing. But the main point is that right now what I'm doing is something that I enjoy and plan to carry out in the future. And being in ISM has made this so much more easy because now I really don't have to scrunch in sometimes, because I can use my time in ISM in this class period and also at home to worry and think about my research and kind of expand on how to get towards that. Now comes to my original work. As I am working very hard and laboriously on my the research that I'm doing in UTD, I also have to have original work. Of course, everybody does. Each one of you know the struggle that it is. So in class, we developed some ideas and offered some ideas to our peers of what we would do for our original project, and many of you did offer some really good ideas. I remember the most common was The Fault in Our Stars. As I really didn't watch that film or read that book, I didn't want to use it. It was not at all meant to hurt anyone's feelings. I already had kind of an idea in my mind. It was to create some kind of a research paper of what I've done in the lab, and just it should provide the basis of the summary of what I did inside the research lab, of the type of project that I worked with. And now, what are my goals right now? Currently in ISM and in my work in research, I plan on beginning my actual experiment in the beginning of March, and then I'll be able to basically actively engage in my own original idea that I developed previously and incorporate that into my research project. And it's something that I basically hope to be able to do. And in addition to that, I think that my original work will truly show kind of who I am. It will be a good representation of what ideals I hold up to, because getting into the research lab was not really easy. And just as you guys had cold calls, you had to make phone calls to different professionals and get nervous, write a script. Getting into the research lab was not easy for me as well. I had to email tons of professors in the UTD biology lab faculty, and I went through the same struggle as you guys did. A couple did answer, and some didn't even answer. Actually, most of them didn't even answer. And then one person agreed to work with me, and I did get to join her lab. And really, this year, ISM has taught me to work through my struggles, kind of work through the pain, because eventually, I mean, you will see the light, and you will find success in what you do, because your hard work will pay off afterwards. And that is what I'm hoping to reach, because I've been working very hard, and I'm sure that I will reach a very good end goal. And I will definitely make it happen. And I'm sure all of you guys will make it happen as well. Now, all right. So this is the quote that I began in the first semester in ISM. This is the quote by Arnold Schwarzenegger. So I'll just read this quote aloud, and then I will briefly explain what it really means to me. So, strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. Okay? And right now that quote means, it could mean many things, but to me, this means that winning is really, not that important. Right now, I'm not necessarily winning, because even though I'm in a research lab, I still have times when I don't get to meet my mentor, when I don't see them, and I have a lot of gaps. But I'm trying to work through that and kind of work around it so I can get to my end goal, which is to have my original work done, have it done, and begin my experiment during March. And I'm very hopeful in that. And in addition to all my hopes for my research in the future, I'd like to talk about some of my long-term goals that I'd like to get from ISM. So joining ISM has, in addition to allow me to explore my interests, continue my research, and enhance upon that, I know that ISM will allow me to achieve many things in the future, because with the professional communication, I will be able to do more effective interviews. I will be able to talk to common people. I'll be more open-minded and definitely give speeches for other types of areas and classes, and that's something I'm hopeful for doing. Okay, and that's one of the things that I have. And for one main goal that I really want in the future is to basically continue the work that I'm already doing and expand upon that, because in the future I have plans on getting into cancer research. After pursuing medicine, I'd possibly like to join a great research institute and get involved with cancer research, because I want to be part of the community that contributes to the next cure that will probably happen in about 50 years or so. And I just want to be part of that community. In addition to that, I want to enjoy my life and have fun, and ISM has allowed me to do that, because I'm able to explore my deep interest, which is, as I've repeated many times, is cancer research. And it's a very difficult field right now, because there's not many solutions to this problem yet, but scientists are working on it, and eventually we will find a way to, people will find a way to cure this illness. And it gives me the joy that if I am going to be part of that community, it will truly allow me to look at myself better. And the initial phase for that to happen is to keep doing what I'm doing in ISM and keep working hard, and definitely uphold the quote and not think about winning, but think about working through my struggles and just expanding on my talents and working on my weaknesses, and of course trying to enjoy the time I have with you guys, as well as the program of ISM. And that's basically what I hope to do. That's really all I have to say about ISM. And before I end the presentation, I would also like to wish all of you guys good luck, because I know all of you guys are working hard on your topics, and just all the best.